Hello and welcome to another video with the Bearded Tech Guy. In this video, we'll be going over how to update the software and maps on Kia vehicles, such as the Telluride, for free, outside of a USB or SD card, depending on your vehicle. This procedure can be used on other Kia vehicles, such as the Forte, Sportage, Stinger, and several others, and can now be used on vehicles without built-in navigation, which is also referred to as audio only. To be able to do this process, you will need a 64 gig USB stick for most vehicles. Some older vehicles do require an SD card. I'll have a link in the description below for the USB drive I used for this process. The process can also be followed for certain Genesis and Hyundai vehicles as well. I will include links in the description below for how to verify if your vehicle is able to be updated in this manner. Also take note that I can only verify this works for vehicles in North America. To get started, you'll first need the navigation updater software. To get this, navigate to update.kia.com. Here you can get a list of software update notifications to know what the latest version available is for your car, along with update notes as well. From within the update notes, you'll see all the major changes that are being released for this version, and at the top of the page, you can click on Find a list of all eligible vehicles for that version. The list will include the model, year, and type of head unit that is supported. From the update notes page, you can click on the Download the Navigation Updater Program button to get to the download page for the updater program. You can also get here by clicking on the Navigation Updater Download tab from any other pages on the site from the top menu. Here you will select if you want to download the updater for Windows or Mac. I'm on a Windows PC, so I will select for Windows. Once downloaded, go through the installation process for the Navigation Updater software. If you have an older version of the navigation software installed, it will be updated instead. After the software is installed, open it up and select Guest Login. On the next page, you'll be shown where files are going to be downloaded, and you can change the location if you want to, or click on OK to proceed. A pop-up window will be displayed showing how you can determine the model number of your head unit and the software version it is running in your vehicle. Next, select your vehicle, which for me will be the Telluride, and then select the model, which for me will be 2020 Telluride. Take note that on this window, you can see the device type used. For example, I will need a USB drive. If you need an SD card instead, it would be listed here. Click on OK when you are ready to proceed. On the next screen, you will need to select the location of your portable drive that the update files will be placed on. Keep in mind that this process will wipe all data on that device. So if you haven't already, make sure all data on it has been saved somewhere else. Click on Next once you have the drive you want selected. The next screen will ask you to verify if you have the correct drive selected and that it is your portable drive and not your computer's drive. It will also remind you that all data on the selected drive will be erased. If you want to double check you have the correct drive selected, click on No to go back. Otherwise, click on Yes. The next screen is a final reminder about all data on the selected drive being erased and asking if you want to continue or not. If you want to double check one more time you have the right drive, click on No. Otherwise, click on Yes to format the drive and start the download process for the update. Depending on the size of your update and your internet connection, it can take several minutes. Once the download is complete, you will be presented a completion page with a few different options. This includes installation instructions on how to actually do the update, which I will be going over shortly. I recommend taking a look at the portable drive to make sure there are files on the drive as expected, which you can do so by clicking on Open Folder. Once all set, you can close the program after deleting temporary update files, or just close the program, and then eject the drive from your computer. Now it's time to actually do the update. A few things I would like to note. It is strongly encouraged to have the engine running during the update. This is so the battery doesn't drain, as the whole process can potentially take up to or even over an hour. Because of this recommendation, I would like to mention that you should not leave your car running inside an enclosed area, and should either be outside or somewhere with adequate ventilation for the vehicle to be running. Also, because your vehicle will be running, I would strongly encourage you to stay with it at all times during the software update. One last thing to note is that practically all features of the radio head unit will not function during the update process. So if you plan to hang out in your car during the update, bring along some other form of entertainment. To start the update, hop into your car and turn it on. Next, insert your USB drive with the software update files. On the Telluride, that will be the USB port that's labeled USB, and it is also used for Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, not the USB port next to it. A pop-up will appear on the screen asking if you want to update. Select Yes to continue. You will then be presented with an option for which type of update. This includes Update Now, Background Update, and Scheduled Update. According to Kia, Background Update will update software and map in the background, while all navigation functions such as route guidance and media are normally working. And Scheduled Update lets you set the time of the update to trigger without turning on the vehicle or driving. For this video, I'm going to be picking Update Now, and we'll test out the other two options on the next few updates. If you've done Background or Scheduled Update, I would love to know how those options worked in the comments below. The update will then go through and update several components. During this time, make sure that the ignition is not turned off and that the USB drive is not touched during the upgrade procedure. Doing so could cause loss of data. You'll see several screens going through the different components being updated. Because of how far behind I was on updates, it finished updating to one release and then started another update to actually get to the latest version. So be prepared for an even longer wait if you are several years behind like I was, and consider giving things a few minutes to finish before you start trying to use it, as it may be getting prepared to start another update. A feature that was released for some models in 2021 was the ability to have split screen with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. In Tellurides with the bigger screens, the Android Auto function only takes up 2/3 of the screen, which is a pretty big bummer. But with this feature, the last third can be used as a quick display for different Kia widgets outside of Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. To enable this feature, go into the menu and select Device Connections. From here, you can select Android Auto or Apple CarPlay to access the settings. In the settings for either, you will have the option to enable split screen. Simply select it. Both Android Auto and Apple CarPlay have the same setting requirement if you want to use split screen for them. Another feature that was released in a more recent update that I've been waiting for is full screen display for Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. While the split screen feature is nice, I personally want to take advantage of my larger display for Android Auto, and now I can. For this feature to work, you need to have the split screen feature turned off under Android Auto or Apple CarPlay settings. With it off, you're able to take advantage of the full screen of your car for phone projection, which looks a lot better in my opinion. A few things to keep in mind. Updates are released every 3 months or so that will include new features and map updates for systems with built-in navigation. I find it's good to let the latest update be out for a month before doing the update. Enough updates have been pulled back where it just makes sense to wait a bit to reduce the risk of having issues. While doing the update, I was able to put the car in both reverse and drive a little bit without impacting the update. This tells me that you can technically drive the car during the update process, but the cameras for the car along with the rest of the radio will not be available, so I really don't recommend driving while doing the update. If you want to find out what version your head unit is on, press the Setup button to get into the menu and navigate to General. From there, select System Info. Under Software Information, you can see the current map version, with the first 6 numbers indicating the version currently installed. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up, as it helps the channel immensely, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and enable notifications to be one of the first to know when I release a new video. Thank you for watching.